What's popping, y'all? It's been a little bit since Plaqueboymax officially left FaZe Clan, which a lot of people didn't even think he was serious about, but we come to find out, nah, he wasn't playing any games, and the fans have really been itching to find out why. I'm going to play you guys this first clip where he says he doesn't talk about it, but later on he gives some reasoning, which I don't think is all the way the full reasoning, but I'm going to play you guys this clip first.
Holy dad, Max stream longer. Okay, I got good news for y'all, bro. I don't know. I know I told y'all I was leaving FaZe and thought, damn, bro, this going on another hiatus, bro. He quitting on us, bro. Yo, gang, it's 3 days later. I will be back Sunday. I will literally be back Sunday. You feel me? I'm not disappearing. There's just been so much I've been dealing with for the past, 3 months. I'm not gonna lie, bro, that I literally, I don't think y'all understand. When I told y'all I cannot go in depth and can't speak on, I can't speak on it. I can't speak on it. I don't think y'all understand. I cannot speak on it. Will I speak on it? Hopefully soon. But I can't speak on it. Y'all act like I don't want to tell y'all. I tell y'all everything, nigga. Y'all know everything about my life. You feel me? Alright, so chill. What's better? I wish I knew that. That's why I'm mad that these what's it called? I could.
So here you could see he's visibly stressed. He's got probably 1,000,001 things to worry about, and he's trying to figure out what he can and cannot say, so he's just pushing it off to the side. And then a couple of days later, he goes on to give a little bit of a reason. I think just a reason enough to get people off of his back so they don't keep asking the question, because I don't think the real reason will be made public anytime soon. Maybe it'll leak out or something in a year or two. I can't really say the real reason, to be honest. I've been sworn to secrecy. But I'm going to play you guys that second clip.
Shout out to everyone in FaZe. I love all of them. They my boys. I don't own FaZe. I don't own FaZe, gang. No ownership. I want to build something. If your pussy hurt because you're mad that I want to build something for myself, sorry, I don't know what to tell you, because I'm still going to do it. And I'm going to make this 5-star shit the biggest ever. And me, the biggest shit ever. That don't mean I don't with these. That don't mean I won't with these. That don't mean I won't do shit with these. I love them. They're my boys. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm going to do what I feel is right for me. And then when you see the work out down the line, you'll see what I mean. That's all I'm going to say. I love these though. But I got to make grown man decisions. I'm 22. I'm not 18 no more in my mom's room.
So here, the reason that he gives is ownership. Now, he knew he didn't have ownership from day one. He already had 5-star going into it. That's a difference between Plaqueboymax and all of these other people. Now, I did say Plaqueboymax had a bigger brand than these other guys going into it. But, for example, Silky. Silky was Nation, which was Annoying TV's thing, which it never really panned out. And that just goes to show how important it is to have the right team and people in the background, who never get any credit, by the way, to make sure things are facilitated properly and content is coming out and the group is doing stuff. Because Nation, it started and it was going to be a thing, and then it just, I wouldn't say it quickly faded, but Annoying TV spoke on their management who left to be a stripper and just a bunch of crazy stuff. So Silky was just solo streamer. Stable Ronaldo, he was a solo streamer as well, in Fortnite. Same thing with Lacey. Jason the Ween, he was a solo streamer. These guys didn't have their own crew. Before going into this, Plaqueboymax had 5-star. He had a couple of guys that were 5-star that his community knew. They would appear on streams. I think they had, it was a 5-star house stream. So Plaqueboymax had the ability to put on events himself without getting into FaZe. So he comes into FaZe, and the ownership part, I can see what he means, but really I think Plaqueboymax wants to be away from any of the controversy surrounding FaZe. Take a look at, for instance, FaZe Banks, right? FaZe Banks, he just stepped down because of some controversy related to some crypto stuff. Stable Ronaldo, if you guys recall, he got put in an ad and he didn't even know what he was doing. I'm not sure if I'm misremembering, but I do remember something along those lines. But then Lacey goes on and says something that contradicts what Max is talking about.
First of all, all the new guys in FaZe, we do have ownership, okay? It's not a lot, but we do. All right, so that's first thing. Second off, to this Brick Sky guy that's saying this, all right? Listen, y'all gotta understand, it's a thing where we are in FaZe, okay? I don't pay for housing. I live for free. All right? This mansion that I live in is free. My stream room is free. The stuff in my stream room is free because FaZe pays for it. Bepsy and Addison setting up production for all the streams. FaZe pays for it. Every YouTube video you guys see that drops on every Friday. Not a dime comes out of my pocket. FaZe pays for it. I rep FaZe. I am FaZe, and in return, FaZe covers everything that I need in order for me to produce content. That seems like a fair ass trade-off to me. And if it doesn't to you guys, then I don't know. But that's for me, that's good for me.
So here Lacey talks about how, listen, we actually do got a part of ownership. Now, first I'm going to address the ownership piece, and then I'm going to address what FaZe does for them. I think ownership is possibly one of the most overrated aspects of it, because people had ownership of FaZe originally, and then they sold it for a ton of money, and they all became very, very rich. And then they were upset because the people that they sold it to weren't handling it in the way that they saw fit. And then the value of it went down significantly, and then I think FaZe Banks bought it, maybe with the assistance of other people. I don't know if he's 100% owner. And then now he's still the owner, but he stepped down as CEO. But really, what does ownership really mean? It's like, what does that look like in terms of revenue? Although these guys don't really have to worry because they're making so much cash flow that I guess an ownership piece makes more sense than how much they're getting paid. And so I think ownership is a little bit overrated, but they do have ownership. So that does knock off Plaqueboymax's point. But I think the way Plaqueboymax is looking at it is he wants ownership of the brand. FaZe was a thing before Plaqueboymax. FaZe is still a thing after planned. But I think the way Plaqueboymax is looking at it is he wants ownership of the brand. FaZe was a thing before Plaqueboymax. FaZe is still a thing after Plaqueboymax leaves. I think Plaqueboymax wants something that is Plaqueboymax. When people think FaZe, they think of the new gen thinks of these guys, but historically it's not these guys. It's not the members, it's the OGs. Like they'll think of Adapt, or they'll think of Banks, or was Blaziken one of them? I don't remember. I really wasn't into that whole FaZe optic thing while it was going on. It wasn't that I wasn't even into it. I didn't even really know what it was, or if it existed until like 2015 or so, or maybe even 2015, I would say, is when I found out about all of that stuff, which was late. So there's that. And I think Plaqueboymax is like, I've got my own thing, which is 5-star, which is me, and I have the capability to do everything here. So Lacey goes on to say, well, this exchange is great for me. I get to live in this house for free. I don't pay for this house. I don't pay for production. And the thing that I wonder is, well, if FaZe has admitted they don't take a percentage of any of the money that these guys are making, where the hell is the money coming from for the people that are editing the YouTube videos for FaZe, that are filming the YouTube videos for FaZe, that are doing the production for Lacey streams and the other people there? Where's the money coming from for the rent for that gigantic mansion, or the lease for that gigantic mansion? Where's that money coming from if they're not generating that money? And that's where I start to scratch my head, and we don't just need an expert pocket watcher for that. We need like an investigative, what's the guy's name? From Psych, the TV show. I forgot his name, but we need a psychic. That's what we need. Somebody that's a private investigator, a PI, to look into that. Because I don't know how FaZe is making money. Because they were taught if FaZe Banks was able to buy it back, that means, oh yeah, I remember they IPO'd and everything. They did revive it though. Like FaZe as a brand is killing it right now. But when you look at a Lacey, right, that's not a Plaqueboymax. With all due respect to that guy, like yeah, he's killing it in the content game, but Plaqueboymax is different. That guy stands out from that group. He has the ability to be a leader of his own group. He's just being held back by those guys. And it does knock off the reasoning that Plaqueboymax gave, But I think Plaqueboymax is, like I said, his real reasoning will not come out for a long while. I do think part of it is that he wants his own brand to succeed. And you can't have a 5-star if you're a part of FaZe. It doesn't really make sense. It doesn't work unless it's a subsidiary of that brand. For instance, Nike, right? Air Jordan. That's Nike. But Air Jordan is underneath Nike. And Michael Jordan's teamed up with them. 5-star was a thing before he came to FaZe. Jordan brand wasn't a thing before he went to Nike. You see the difference there? And why would he take 5-star and make it something underneath FaZe when I think he believes that 5-star can be as big as FaZe or even bigger? And I do think Plaqueboymax has a chokehold on the younger generation when it comes to kind of culture, fashion, things like that. I'm not saying like the guy's good at fashion or any of those means, but when you look at the rest of those guys, they're not influential in that way. Kai Cenat is, like I said, Mr. Beast of Twitch, so he's faded away from having any type of influence in that realm, and that leaves Plaqueboymax. So he's somebody that can really do it all from what I've seen. Quite a talented streamer, able to plan events, able to act on stream, able to deal with other people, able to make music. He's able to do it all. So I think he just outshined FaZe. He was like, yo, I'm bigger than this. I don't need this anymore. Like, think about it. He doesn't care about ownership, especially the monetary aspect. He'd rather build 100% of 5-star that he owns or whatever minute percentage he has of FaZe. There's that. And then there's also the aspect of, yo, it's time for him to really make stuff shake. He doesn't need his rent paid. He doesn't need production. He can handle the production himself. He knows how to build a team. He has the right people around him. I can tell you that much. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all.
Anytime one or more people come together as a group, and it's a group of 5 or 10 people, the group is going to split up. We can name the Jackson 5, the Beatles, the Migos. The list goes on, y'all. When people come together for something great, it often separates. It's life. And, for the life of me, it's like, all right, bet. It's not just like a black person, white person thing. It's universal.